What's up, you guys? Dano here. I wanted to take a minute of your time and explain to you how I started Dano's. I've told the story a million times. It's on the website and everything, but I'm going to tell it to you again in case you didn't know how I started Dano's Seasoning. Back in 2015, I was a bartender. I had been bartending for about 5 years and actually started in the kitchen. I used to love to cook, so I started working in the kitchen and I worked my way up to bartending. And then after a few years of bartending, I just knew that it wasn't something I wanted to continue to do. So I was always spinning my wheels about how am I going to start my own business. I always, ever since I was a little kid, wanted to do something big, start my own business. And I was always thinking, I graduated college. I did not graduate high school. I graduated high school. I did not graduate college. That's what I'm trying to say. But I always loved to cook. My family used to tell me, why don't you be a chef? Like maybe that's what you should be doing. And I was always like, that's not what I want to do for a living, is just be a chef. And so literally for the last 2 years of my bartending career, I was every day thinking, how can I start my own business? I had saved up $8,000 and I was waiting for the right opportunity to figure out what I was going to do with my life. And so I always loved to cook. Back in college in 2000, I remember me and a friend, I had some bone-in skin on chicken breast and I pulled them out of the fridge or the freezer because they were frozen for 2 months. It was literally the only thing I had at my apartment. And he was like, oh, I'll show you what to do. And I remember he was just grabbing all these spices and just unloaded all these spices onto this chicken. And then we baked it in the oven and it ended up being super delicious. And I was like, wow, all he did was take a bunch of spices. So that's literally the next day I went and I started playing around with spices and buying that same chicken. And I literally came up with my own ingredients that I would use on this baked chicken. So for 15 years, I would make this chicken for people. Whenever there was a get together, a party or whatever, I'm like, let me make this chicken that I make for you guys. So I loved making this chicken. Well, flash forward to 2015 when I'm searching for something, and I'd actually cooked in the bar when I was a cook there, and I would do specials with my chicken. Never called it Dano's, never even occurred to me. My name's Dan Oliver. I actually went by Danny Oliver for the first 35 years of my life. And so I had this recipe that I would use on this chicken. I made specials with it at the restaurant and it would sell out. Everybody loved it. Never thought for a second I should package it and sell it. And it wasn't until I had grown into bartending, and yes, I made great money, but I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do. I was searching for something. And so I remember I had brought in some chicken one day, chicken breast, and gave that out. And then people were like, oh man, that chicken was the best. How'd you make that? And I'm like, oh, just throw these spices together or whatever, mix it up. I remember even giving somebody a list. And then one day, I mixed a bunch of it and brought some little bags in, gave it to people, still not thinking to package this product. It wasn't until one day when I made a whole chicken. I was coming in. I remember this like it was yesterday. It was a Monday. It was 5 o'clock in the city of Louisville. The bar stayed open until 4 in the morning. So it was 5 o'clock in the day. And I had to go in for my shift, which we don't close till 4, so I don't get home till 6 in the morning. And it was 5 o'clock, and there was one guy sitting at the bar. He was waiting to play somebody in pool. And I was like, hey, I just roasted this whole chicken. Are you hungry? You want some of this chicken? He was like, yeah, I'll take some. So I literally give him half of this chicken. And I remember he took the first bite, and he was like, I just remember seeing the top of his head. And he was like this. And he's like, dude, this is the best chicken I ever had in my life. Why aren't you selling this? And I was like, Dano's. I was like, that's it. I'd been saving this $8,000 for a reason. This recipe had been in my back pocket for 15 years of my life, never thinking a seasoning. I get to do what I love to do. I get to cook. I didn't want to work as a chef, but I get to cook. I get to share my recipe, share my flavor, what I created with the world. Dano's, that's the name. I knew right then and there I'm not going by Danny anymore. I'm now Dano. So I spent 2 years working on the product development and getting Dan-O's into a package so I could take it to the masses. And I had this huge vision, Dan-O's, it's going to change the world because there was no flavor like it. I use a little bit of rosemary, and there's lemon peel and orange peel, which gives it a totally unique flavor, unlike any other seasoning on the market. And that was my vision. I was like, nobody has a product like this. Nobody has this flavor. This flavor that I created does not exist. It's Dan-O's. It's my flavor. And it wasn't until about 2 years in, well, maybe a year into the product development, my original packaging said low sodium on it. But then it was after my original packaging, when I started working on my new packaging, I knew what I needed to do to change the product, to make it better, to give people what I saw could change the world, and what I saw as identifying my product as not only the flavor's better, but hey, this is a better product for you. It's a better for you product. And that's when I created it to be low sodium, which it is. It's only 50 milligrams of sodium per serving. So that's all the salt that we use in the entire bottle. And it's real sea salt. It's real sea salt because that's what you need. You need the real sea salt because it's a stronger salt. It's not like an iodized salt. It's a stronger flavored salt, so you don't have to use as much. Yet you can fill the rest of that space up with other ingredients and use all the other ingredients to really get the flavors to come out in the food. And that's what makes Dan-O's special. It's the flavor of Dan-O's. So I identified, hey, I'm low sodium, I'm no sugar, I'm all natural. Why is there no other products like that on the market? Why isn't there? I don't know. It made no sense to me. Now there is. It's called Dan-O's. If y'all want to hear more of these stories, I'm going to hop off here. It's Friday. I got to go get some things done. But if y'all want to hear some more of these stories, just let me know. I got all kinds of stories. Heck, I might even write a book one day. Let me know if you'd buy it. Leave a comment, hit that like button, hit the follow. Make sure you go follow me at Dan-O Seasoning. Yum, yum, get you some.